Today's lesson 12.4 is on volumes of prisms and cylinders. Course objectives will find volumes of prisms and find volumes of cylinders. I think you'll find these formulas a little bit easier than the surface area formulas. There's not quite as much to remember with them, it seems like. But let's just jump into it and see. So the volume of a prism, of course, V. The formula is just the area of the base times the height. And this is a general formula that works for any shape prism, whether it's triangular prism or rectangular, or even if we get into pentagons and octagons and stuff like that. If you just find the area of that base and then multiply times the height, and that gives you the volume. So we'll do a couple of examples. Triangular prism, so we need to find the area of the base, which is a triangle, and then multiply by the height, which is the distance between the two triangular bases. So what are we missing in order to find the area of the triangle?
Base. The height. Right.
Yeah, we need the height of the triangle, so we've got the base, so we can just use Pythagorean theorem. So it's 9 squared plus x squared equals 15 squared. So x squared is going to be 144, which means x is 12. So we know that the length of this side of the triangle is 12 feet. So for this one, we just want to find the area of one base. We don't want both bases like we did with surface area. It's just one base. So the area of the base, in this case, is a triangle, so it's going to be 1/2 of 9 times 12. Half of 12 is 6, and 6 times 9 is 54.
Right.
54 feet squared is the area of the base. And now to find the volume, volume is just that area, 54, times the height, which is 10 feet.
What?
The height is defined as the distance between the two bases. The distance between this triangle and this triangle.
And volume is cubed, right?
Volume is cubed. That's correct. So 540 feet cubed because it's in 3 dimensions.
Yeah. This is up here. Volume equals base times height.
Area of the base. Since it's a capital B, that's the area of the base. It's not a linear measurement like when we talk about when we're talking about the area of this triangle, we'd say the area of the triangle is 1/2 base times height. Lowercase b means linear measurement. But when we're talking about the area measurement, it's a capital B. I know that gets confusing. We use the same word for 2 different things, but you just have to look at the lowercase versus uppercase letters. All right, next example is a what shape is the base? Pentagon. So it's 5 sides. So it's the same formula though. It's just volume equals area of the base times the height. So in order to find, going back to last chapter, in order to find the area of the base, it's 1/2 the perimeter times the apothem, right? So the base area is 1/2 times the perimeter is 5 millimeters times 5 sides. So I should have written 25 there. 1/2 25. That's the perimeter. And 3.4 is this apothem right here. So the base is 42.5 millimeters squared. And then the volume is just 42.5 times 8. 340 millimeters squared. Or cubed, thank you. I did that all through my notes. I have to remember to write cubed for volume. All right, so those are the only 2 examples I'm going over for volume. I mean, we've done tons of area of 2-dimensional shapes, and all you have to do is find that area of the 2-dimensional base, then multiply by the height. So it's all the examples I'm going to work through of that. Next, we'll talk about volume of a cylinder. Volume of a cylinder, it's the same. Really, you can think of it the same way. Volume is the area of the base, which of course is a circle, times the height. Or the area of the base, we could call that pi r squared. That's the area of the circle times the height. So I like using just this formula because we can do everything in one step. So if we just think about volume equals pi r squared h, just plug in the numbers and we're good to go. So volume equals pi times the radius squared times the height. Volume is pi. What's the radius?
9.
Think again. 4.5 is the radius.
Well, just pointing to that one side.
Well, it's the whole line though. It's the whole line is 9. So pi times 4.5 squared times 5 is the height.
0.7757. I think I did that. I divided.
I think you hit a wrong button somewhere. So pi times 4.5 squared times 5.
3.181. Well, 318.1.
There we go, 318.1. 318.1 inches cubed. All right. Next, we just have words this time. Formula doesn't change though. Volume equals pi r squared h. So volume equals, find the volume of a cylinder with radius of 3, so 3 squared, and a height of 8.
Which one is it?
226.2 centimeters cubed. Good. All right, the other thing that is included in this lesson is we've talked a little bit about oblique prisms, but usually it was just kind of showing what they were, and then we didn't really do anything with them. We just said that in the past lessons, all we would work with were right prisms. But now we are going to include oblique prisms in the volume discussion. But it's the same formula. It's still volume equals base area of the base times the height. And so if you think about it, if you have a box and you kind of push on one top side of it and you make it lean over a little bit, you can still fit the same amount of stuff inside the box, even though it's leaning over a little bit now, right? And that's really all it is here. We've got the same figure. We just pushed on the top side of it, made it lean over a little bit, so we can still fit the same amount of stuff inside of it. All right, and that's all we're looking at with volume here. So volume of an oblique hexagonal prism. Volume equals area of the base times the height. So they're even kind enough to give you the area of the base on this one. So it's just 17.3 times the height is 6.4.
347.
How much?
I got 1,100 or 110.72.
That's what I got.
Oh, no, how did that?
110 point. I got 110.7 centimeters cubed. And then this last one, find the volume of an oblique cylinder that has a radius of 5 feet and a height of 3 feet. Same, again, with cylinders, it's the same as it is with prisms. The fact that it's oblique doesn't mean it has a different volume. It's still the same volume. So it's still volume equals pi r squared h. So we do pi, the radius of 5 feet times 5 squared, and then a height of 3 feet. So volume equals 235.6 feet cubed. All right. Have your homework assignment.
You have it? We have it.
You have it.